Hui! Aloha! Pono Ma here with Keeping It Pono, a podcast we run featuring our alumni. And today we got Chef Kealoha Domingo from the class of '89 joining us. Mahalo, Chef.
Aloha, aloha mai kako, Mua 89.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're going to be talking story with Kealoha. Interesting story, man. I tell you. And so I know, our podcast viewers are going to be curious about so many things. The first thing is you own your own catering business, NuiKealoha. So congratulations on your business. But I also know that during COVID, things got a little bit scary. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. But more than anything, one of the things I want the viewers to know is Kealoha is an alumni, but he gives back in so many ways. I'm super grateful for everything you do, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Try it.
So maybe we can talk story about we're just talking about this. How do you go from elevator mechanic to chef? And maybe you can talk story about that. How you do that?
Yeah, well, that's definitely a interesting story. I mean, I grew up in a food family. I grew up cooking all my life. I've always loved cooking. I have family in the business. My uncles is a well established executive chef, aunties who own restaurants, and I've been around it all my life, and I always loved it. But going through high school, I was kind of on this path. How's it to Mr. Parsons? I was, for some reason, I just really like working with my hands, and I ended up on a track of auto mechanics, and that kind of led me to a place where I ended up working in the elevator business, and I was on that up and down path for 20 years in the elevator business. It's not that I didn't like it, but the cooking was always calling to me. And what was really funny was that when I graduated, or kind of around my senior year, my father, he's a Kamehameha class of '65 grad. He's like, I really think you should be a chef. And I was like, I, this is the story that a lot of people don't know, is that I grew up with my father as a police officer, and as a child, I remember him having all these crazy hours, and working different shifts, and I always thought I didn't want to do that to my kids. When I had a family, so I said, okay, I want to have this quote unquote regular job, and so I thought auto mechanics was my thing, and I got into it, and I got stuck in that path for almost 20 years as an elevator mechanic, and 10 years working on all kind of European cars and stuff. Was like, I was happy, but it was just content, and I always had this calling to cook. I always had a calling to be with the community, to be with people. And I started getting people started asking me, hey, can you help me with this birthday party, baby luau, wedding? And slowly by slowly, I started doing it on the side, and I was like, wait a minute, why am I killing myself here? Doing a full-time demanding job, and I really, my heart is in cooking. So it just kind of happened where the opportunity came up, and I was at a turning point in my career, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm hitting an age where I gotta try this out, or forever hold my peace. And a lot of people think I'm crazy, but in 2019, I actually left um, the elevator business, full time, and I said, oh, I'm gonna start this off, and knock on wood, I haven't held the long time. The duration of 10, 20 years like many others, but so far so good. So I'm hoping that I can pull through this, and I'm still around, so we're cooking. And
Well, for those of you guys, your viewers out there, if you have not tried Kealoha's food, you're never going back. It's so good. I've had the good fortune of having it. So mahalo for that. We also talked a little bit about COVID, yeah, and how that
Yeah.
affected your business. And then you switched it and started serving our community. Should talk about that a little bit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, community was one of the things that kind of drove me into cooking. I was always around groups. I mean, I'm really fortunate to have gotten involved over the years with Papahana Ola, with Kulo, Samuel Manala, Maya, tongue tied, uh, Kikulo Kamakau,
Mm.
Hawaiian Immersion School. My wife teaches that, and my children attend. And just being in the Hawaiian community, I kind of just tend to fall into that role of cooking all the time. And so long story short, I guess really when COVID happened, here I was. I left my full time job, my secure paycheck every week paycheck, and taking a chance on a brand new business, so to speak, as an entrepreneur. Um, and COVID hits, and it's like, whoa, what am I gonna do? And I've always been pretty fortunate, word of mouth. I always have, you know, events on my calendar. I have people calling me to do things and whatnot. But when COVID hit, everything just started kind of falling off the calendar. Like the rest of the world, everything kind of just next thing you know, it was crickets. And you know, I was pretty much at a loss. I was like, what am I gonna do? And one day I get a phone call from one of our contacts at Kamehameha, and Kamehameha was reacting to the need, and they were feeding community, and they gave me the opportunity to go out and feed the community that I live in. So it was kind of a win-win. It wasn't anything glorious. It wasn't anything. It wasn't like any fancy food events and things like that. But just getting down to the basic need of providing I for the community that I live in was, I was
Mm-hmm.
blessed with that opportunity. And you know, I mean, mahalo to Kamehameha and Pauahi for that full circle of
That's awesome.
of aloha is just coming back and forth. It just continues and continues, and I'm so grateful for that. I also got a huge amount of support from organization called Chef Hui. Again, just making contacts and friendships and long-term relationships with people in the community. Just kind of fell into place, and it was it was enough to keep me alive, to keep my family fed, and for me to be able to do something that I really love, which is feed people. So
Yeah, that
I'm
is
so
awesome.
grateful for that. And again, if it weren't for that opportunity, maybe I'd be calling the elevator union back anytime. But you know, my door is not closed to that. But I definitely want to do my best to build this business. While I can. So while I'm still young and able. So
That's awesome, Kealoha. But
yeah,
you're also a Ulu ambassador, right? With Hawaii Ulu Co-op. And what?
yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, so I mean, I've I'll tell you right now, I've been a fan of ulu long before it was cool. I grew up eating ulu. I've loved ulu, and in the course of my life, I've been on this since graduation, since Kamehameha. I've been on this kind of slow, gradual path of relearning my culture identity. Like a lot of us, and I started getting exposed to different things that really, really stuck to me as a Kanaka, as a Hawaiian, and you know, eating of traditional food was definitely one of them. And ulu, for many many years, you go around and ulu was falling off the trees. Um, I was always there picking what I could and utilizing it in so many different ways. But when I left when I left my elevator career, I was fortunate to have gotten accepted into a business business accelerator cohort called Hawaii Investment Ready, and you know more Kamehameha names. Uncle Neil Hannes,
Mhm.
Keone Lee, the CEO, Lisa Kleisner. Because they knew of me, they knew what I was going through. They said, "Hey, look, Kealoha, this might be a good program for you." And they pretty much took me through a crash course of learning how to turn my passion into more of a business. And through this cohort, I was fortunate to get close to some other enterprises that were in the cohort, and one of them was Hawaii Ulu Co-op. And I've always heard about you know, their mission and what they're doing, and I thought, it was such a great idea to provide, you know, to turn this food that kind of forgotten food into something that we can utilize, to sustain ourselves again. And they reached out and says, hey, you want to sign up for this program we have, be an Ulu ambassador. And again, with Hawaii Ulu Co-op being based on a Kamehameha school's property, I feel like it's just this another layer of connectivity, and being able to feed the people with what they do. I thought it was a win-win, and something that I really believe in. And you know we also got involved with a hui of people who actually through Mahiai matchup program, another Kamehameha thing. I got some friends. They reached out to participate in a Ulu Cooperative based here in Oahu, and we planted 40 ulu trees back in 2019 with support of Hawaii Foundation, and Auntie Dance came out and brought out some Hana Lima, some workers, and we planted 40 ulu trees, and hopefully we can contribute to feeding our people in the next couple few years when those trees start producing. So Ulu kind of it's a part of the DNA. You know, um, another thing is taro. Of course, that's our other near and dear staple food. Haloa that I've become grateful to have become reconnected to over the past 20 years. Being reintroduced to my heritage and the importance of these things that are part of our DNA. You know, Ulu is easier to grow than taro is. And I mean, I've always been a supporter of local produce, a supporter of indigenous crops, a supporter of Malama Aina. But I realized that I got to start putting my hands more in the soil instead of just procuring and purchasing and you know things like that. So I'm just really happy that I could get involved on a different level and expand my horizons, expand my my touch, and my you know just being an Ulu ambassador is just definitely yeah, it's an honor. So
That's awesome.
appreciate that. Yeah.
When I know you helping us too with alumni reunion
Yeah.
and in partnership with Hawaii Ulu Co-op, and
Right.
then you doing these poo boxes. I want to know, like,
Yeah.
give us the sneak
Yeah.
peek.
Yeah.
How's that gonna go?
Of course, when you folks reached out, like I got the phone call, Kealoha, we want you to do this thing, Alumni Ma Ka Hale. I think it's gonna air on June 25th, and we want you to do a cooking demo. And like, okay, that's cool because it's been kind of a trend, and more people have been doing this virtual thing. Hey, COVID, we gotta do what we gotta do. But she reached out and said, "Hey, listen, I got this idea based on another project that we did. We did a box offering for the HCBE conference, which was also put on by KS, the Hawaiian Culture Based Education conference, and they had asked me to do a cooking demo. I said, listen, if we're gonna do a cooking demo, why not give them the opportunity to have the actual ingredients in front of them? And Hawaii Ulu Cooperative, they have the ability. Donna Shapiro, she's become a close friend of mine. She's a mover and shaker, and she's really doing her best to get the product out to the world. And I said, hey, listen, if we're gonna do this cooking demo for alumni maybe across the continent, why don't we try and get product to them? because they do have the ability to send this product out to, you know, as far as New York or wherever it's going to be. It comes in a frozen in a little cooler pack with ice and frozen, and it works. You know, and you know, I'm a definitely a fan of Alumni Week. I've enjoyed a couple myself. I've been deep in the heat of Alumni Week. I know that you folks were by my side when we did all the food for the class of '88. um, but you know, I know that poo poo food, you know, and you know, maybe a little bit of, you know, it's all a part of the tradition. And you know, I feel like being able to reconnect, especially our ohana and our alumni family that's, you know, far away, you know, they have the opportunity to get some taro, you know,
Mhm.
some smoked marlins, some sweet potato chips, some ulu hummus. You know, we just wanted to do something fun and something that was kind of pertinent and really felt like, a, for me, what felt like a Kamehameha alumni, you know, gathering. And
Yeah, can't wait. Can't
yeah,
wait. I
I'm really,
cannot wait.
yeah, happy to hear that the boxes are going out, and you know, you still got some time to get one. Uh,
Yes.
I know you got to go on to ksbe.edu/alumni,
Alumni.
and
Yep.
you find it in there.
Get
And
that
you
poo
know,
poo box.
yeah, yeah, you know, really, I mean, it's really something that I just, you know, Hawaii Ulu Co-op and I thought it would be great to just get it out to the people. You know, so
So great.
not
Hey,
only
you know,
a
my
fan, not
final,
only a. Go ahead. No.
no. Yeah, so first of all, first time we're doing it. So we're super
Yeah,
excited. And when food's in the middle of anything, usually good things happen.
yeah,
So yeah,
exactly,
we're counting on that.
exactly.
But
Yeah,
um my last question was really about, you know, you've been giving back, and I know that's important to you. You know, as a graduate. Um why is it important to you, and maybe how others can give back to?
you know, I won't deny it. When I graduated in '89, I really didn't have any idea how fortunate I was to be, you know, get teary.
Yeah.
Too
No,
much.
hey, it's real. It's real.
No, it's real. My father's a class of '65 grad. I'm an '89 grad. My son is a 2017 grad, and my youngest, my number two son just got in. He's gonna be a 2025 grad. So you know, it's like, hey, it's we got to give back. We got to do what we can in our own little ways. You know.
Unreal. Unreal. Well, we enjoyed it. Kilo, we're so thankful. And we're looking forward to that poo poo box. I got mine ready to go. So we'll be watching you on that.
All right.
We're just grateful. Good luck to you in your business.
Yeah.
And we definitely appreciate all you do. So for Kealoha Domingo, I'm
Yeah.
Pono Ma from Keeping It Pono. Take good care, everybody.
Again,
Aloha.
hey, mahalo nui.
Aloha.
Aloha. Imua.